Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to, I think it is day 64, is it? No, it's actually day 65. Oh my goodness. We progressed by one more day. So I promised something in day 64, but I'm going to deviate from that promise today. Because something else happened last night and I wanted to actually give that tip before I, it's like, I love tips that come from whatever happens around me or, something that's in the ether, like somebody posts something on Facebook and then that becomes a tip, the solution to whatever is posted. So the tip today I wanted to give is, there is a meditation that Dr. Joe does, which is changing boxes, which is an advanced meditation. So it's not available to everyone. Only if you're an advanced student, the changing boxes meditation is available to you. But on YouTube, there is a video called Intermission Boxes. And it seems like it is some old lecture of his that actually is like a portion of the retreat, maybe an hour and a half of the retreat. And in there, Dr. Joe is explaining what is changing boxes. So one of the things I know in some of his lectures, he may have talked about it, but I think it is part of this video where he talks about, now I want you to think this, right? Like really get in a meditative state and experience how are you creating time, right? And this is what he explains in Changing Boxes. It may be a tip that may easily get missed because it's a long lecture and you may lose your attention on it. So I'm creating a video about it. You can go listen to the lecture and see this exact piece. What he says is, now, if you want to make a cup of coffee, in my case, make celery juice, right? So you're in this spot, which is point A. The thought arises, I need to make celery juice. And you move towards the fridge to get the celery. Then point B, when you move through space, which is A to B, then you are creating time. So just imagine to get the celery out of the fridge to make celery juice. From point A to B, a thought arises, I need to make celery juice, and you move through space to create time, right? So his whole concept in that Changing Boxes is, if you become a nobody, nowhere, no time, where you are everybody, everything, everywhere, every time, then time collapses. There is no space. You're not moving through space. Time collapses, and there are infinite possibilities of these time slots, right? Because space has collapsed. So that was the most important tip that he gave. But what I would say is an expansion of that is, now I have become very cognizant of how I'm co-creating my reality, that even something as simple making of celery juice, right? I think a thought, celery juice, and then I move from wherever I am and to, like, this is my office space, from my office space to the kitchen, to the fridge, and create time. And I pick up the celery, and then I put it in the sink, put it in my produce wash, and then start scrubbing it and washing it, right? And then rinse it, and then I'm making the celery juice. Now, that kind of creation, when you realize that you're creating a thought, and out of that thought, you're co-creating something like making celery juice. When you begin to realize that everything is a thought or an idea in your head, and then it becomes creation for you, you will become more and more of a co-creator. Like, so many people, I think in the Science of Medical Intuition, Dr. Norm Shaley and Dr. Carolyn Mace talk about, like, if you want to build your intuition, think of parking spaces. I think Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks gives the same pointer. They do simple things, right? Like you want to drive to the mall, then you think of your parking spot where you want to be parked, and you park there, right? So what happened yesterday, last night, and that's why I'm giving this tip, is last night there's a tincture, like I had like a little pain here, and I have had cystic acne, so I think it's like some kind of like, I know it may be some kind of acne, right? So we take a tincture called Golden Seal. So normally what I do is I put the tincture in a shot glass of water, and then I put all my tinctures in there with the dropper. But you can take the dropper directly in your mouth too, right? So just see, I was in my bathroom, and then I went towards the kitchen, towards my medicine cabinet to get the Golden Seal. And as I was moving towards it, I went, oh, I just changed my shirt, and I'm gonna put the tincture, maybe I'll spill it on my shirt, right? And then sure enough, I finished the tincture, I looked down, and there's a like few droplets of the tincture fell on my fresh shirt that I had just changed, right? And instead of getting frustrated, I just smiled, because I knew I had that thought already, that I should have actually, like my thought was, should I take a shot glass and put water in it, and then put the tincture in it and drink it, so that I don't spill it on my fresh shirt? And I went, no, it's getting late, I'm just gonna put it directly, right? And of course, I had to go back and change my shirt, because I was not gonna sleep in a dirty shirt. So that is what we all need to become very cognizant about, that even something as spilling a little bit of Golden Seal tincture on yourself is an act of co-creation. The thought that I may spill it already created what happened in the future. And all I did was, when I saw the spot, was smile, like big smile, because I know that kind of excites me, right? Like that I have become a co-creator, that my thought co-created that. So a lot of times when some of the things that happen as challenges, I know I may have thought of it as a thought before, right? Like when you're choosing two things, A and B, then you go, oh, maybe B will happen instead of A. So just become, I love Esther Hicks's words, where she says, become a deliberate creator. Don't create by default. All these years, we created by default. We woke up, we brushed our teeth, we had our coffee, we had our shower, got in the car, went to work, came back from work, did our dishes, had our dinner, watched TV, went to bed. Again, we started again. We brushed our teeth, next day slept, brushed our teeth, had a shower, had a coffee, got in the car, went to work, came back, watched TV, had dinner, and then went to bed. Repeat again. Third day, we did the same thing. Maybe there were a few moments of a couple of weeks of vacation that we thought were euphoric, but everyday life, and year after year, year after year, so many people are born 20, 40, and then they're 60, and now they're retirement, and all they've done is woken up, brushed their teeth, showered, got in the car, and then repeated the cycle over and over again. So what I would offer to you, this is my offer to you, is begin to see how you're co-creating your reality. The more you are cognizant and conscious of how a thought arises, and you move from point A to point B through space to create time, then you will also realize how to manipulate that time, how to collapse that time. But until you can actually know that you are going to move from point A to point B, and that's creating whatever is the next moment, right? So, and that's what's creating your creation as well. So become a deliberate creator. I love Esther Hicks's words, become a deliberate creator. The more you take control of this deliberate creation, the more you will create abundance and prosperity for yourself. Because Eckhart Tolle is not going to create prosperity for you. Dr. Joe Dispenza is not going to co-create prosperity for you. Even God is not going to co-create prosperity for you. We have to get in connection with the divinity within us so that consciousness of God can create through us, through this form. So with that, that's my tip for today, that try to start to recognize how you go from point A to point B and create, point A to point B and create, and how much can you co-create whatever is the idea in your head, you're co-creating it. The more you recognize these synchronicities, these acausal actions, right? Acausally created events, the more you will begin to get into sync with the abundance of the universe. So with that, have a fabulous day. Many blessings, much love, and eternally grateful for all the help, the support. Take care. Bye.